How's it going, folks? It's Lobo, and thank you so much for joining me today for another episode of Daredevil. We're about halfway through season 2 at this point. So last time we finally got to know a bit about Elektra, who completely caught me off guard, and that is a character that I did not see turning out the way that she did. She's definitely a little on the crazy side, the crazy erotic side, that is. And it looks like she's picking a fight with the Yakuza when she was trying to play rocks on and infiltrate there. So a lot of interesting things going on. So how this is going to go, I truly have no idea. I have no predictions at this point. I'm just super excited to see how she fights because I know that she has her Melina blades that I talked about last episode, and I want to see her stab some folks with it. And just one final thing before we get started here. Is this is the week that I'm finally resuming my movie reactions. This week is going to be Blade Runner 2049. And if you're interested in that, that's going to drop on Friday, and every single Friday thereof in the future will be a movie reaction alternating between a random movie that I've selected and an X-Men movie reaction, because I watched the first two and I stopped and I need to finish all the X-Men movies because I haven't seen any of them outside of Deadpool, the first two Deadpool, because I haven't seen the latest one. I'm saving that. That's going to be my final X-Men reaction before we move on to a new series that I'm going to start. A new franchise, that's the more appropriate term. So with all of that out of the way, let's go. This is Daredevil, episode 6 of season 2. This is Elektra, I assume? Or now it's a biker gang. Maybe it's the Yakuza. That's cute. They all have matching bikes. Nope, they're different colors. Ah, no, wait a minute. Only the leader has yellow. That's how you know he's important. Was she shooting a gun? Oh, okay, disarming. This is like couples therapy for them. And this guy was just watching. Oh, Jesus. Nice. Oh, look how red his eyes look.
Hungry?
She's so weird. To me, she seems like she has scary energy. Not good for a relationship. Definitely not good for Matt. Everything seems like a game to her.
Fine. Don't tell me you're watching a figure.
We just fought the Yakuza.
And won.
You might have mentioned it.
All right.
Yeah, no shit. You've been lying since you got here. And that ends now.
I know who you are because I watched the news. The successful apprehension of Wilson Fisk.
I wear a mask.
How are you called mask then ass? My money's planted deeply inside investments with the Roxxon Corporation. I stirred the pot a little on the business side, and when I did, who came knocking on my door with the Yakuza? They're after us.
No, there is no us. This is your problem. What I do is none of your business. All right? Not anymore.
Matthew.
Let me tell you what's gonna happen now. You're gonna book yourself on the first available flight out of New York and get on it. Go back to whatever spa, resort, or five-star hotel you just came from and stay out of my city.
If you don't want to be partners, I'll handle it tomorrow.
Partners?
More coffee?
No.
Then I need to know you're at least gonna pretend to feel the same way. Nobody dies. Do you understand? Do you understand?
Perfectly. I have a rule of my own.
Shoot.
No sex.
Oh my God. I've actually moved on in the 10 years since you left. I'm seeing someone now.
10 years. But the Matt and Foggy flashback episode said they were in college in 2010. And the show takes place in 2014, 2015. That's might be a little slight continuity error.
I was also not Castle's only target. That's just flat out wrong. What about Grotto? Where did you get my statement?
Grotto?
Grote.
Oh, Elliot Grote. Yeah, he's on the victim list. I just dropped by to get Miss Page's signature on the statement. Once we've got that, we're all done.
With this meeting.
with this case.
New York will sleep better knowing Frank Castle's behind bars. I know I will.
Sleep even better when he's dead.
Death? New York doesn't have the death penalty.
Yeah, but Delaware does.
Are you and D.A. Reyes friends?
I met her once.
When?
Yesterday, when the judge decided the case.
I'm sorry, Mr. Roth. I can't sign this yet.
Are you sure?
Positive.
We gotta fight for Frank.
Maybe the judge will assign a new public defender.
Yeah, or we could help Castle ourselves.
No way.
I want him to defend him. Would he catch on that Matt's Daredevil?
If we keep messing with Reyes, we'll be shuttered by the end of the month.
Come on, if we stand up to her, we could actually end her incessant bullying.
And possibly save this guy's life.
A murderer who shot at you.
It's okay. I'll be outside.
Time to have a real talk, Foggy.
In his own kind of way, he was trying to do something noble.
Do you hear yourself?
Yeah.
We should put it all on the line to help him.
Kinda, yeah.
Is this about saving a man or saving a vigilante? Karen, grab your stuff. We're going to the hospital.
Okay, I was a little nervous we weren't going to get any more John Bernthal this season. I thought they were just going to put him away and then he wouldn't appear till his spin-off show, but this makes me very happy.
And how do I know what proscenium is? Because I did theater in summer camp, which is exactly the kind of thing that these reporters will find out if they start digging into me.
This is so awesome.
It's not a clip-on.
This ain't a good time, Foggy.
Promotion?
A detective, sergeant now.
Yep.
I just lucky.
What if we have business with Frank Castle?
Business. Guy's barely conscious.
Our firm wants to represent him.
Look, I don't ask questions, but every firm in the city's passed this one by. Must be a reason. Look, none of this is my problem. But all I know is you go up against this DA and lose, the only funeral to attend will be your firm's.
If we walk away, we're letting him die.
Everything's been removed from inside the room. He's tied down, but keep your distance and mind the tape. Step past it.
I don't know why it never crossed my mind that they would represent him. Like I said, I just thought he was just going to be gone until whenever. Damn, don't cross the red tape. It's crazy. Do they really do that? With dangerous people?
These are my associates, Franklin Nelson, Karen Page.
Yeah.
We came here today to make you an offer. You're very good at making powerful enemies. The day you were admitted to Metro General for the round you took to the head, a do not resuscitate order was placed on you.
And a shoot to kill order just a few days ago.
These orders were issued by the district attorney. And the fact that she's had it in for us ever since we started asking questions tells us we're on the right track. You let us take your case, we can soften your sentence and give you a shot. Maybe even find out who's responsible for what happened to you.
I don't think he's going to play ball.
Kind of like what you did for Grotto, huh?
Karen, Foggy.
You want answers?
Oh, shit.
But none of us will get them if you're dead.
Where did you get that?
From your home.
From my home.
Oh, God.
Why were you in my house?
Ah, there's the DA. She is pissed.
You three out. Now!
This is their client, bitch. She's so annoying. Yeah, dude, there's something going on.
So unless you've asked the public defender for permission to speak to his client, you are in violation of New York legal ethics.
To be honest, he doesn't seem all that prepared to tackle this case. Although he did mention the conversation that you had with him yesterday.
Matt Murdock, is it?
Yeah, pleasure to meet you.
Since your colleagues seem unable to grasp the hornet's nest they keep kicking, let me direct this at you.
We have a right to a private conversation with a prospective client.
Not if there's a conflict of interest.
And what conflict is that?
Elliot Grote, you can't represent Castle when one of his victims was your former client.
Alleged victims.
All the same.
Then again, all evidence of our work with him and our deal with you seems to have disappeared from public record. Almost as if someone didn't want it known that you violated a WITPRO contract, jeopardized the safety of said witness, and then ordered a shoot to kill on Castle.
But I guess Miss Reyes could just confess to that when she files this conflict of interest complaint.
Oh! I love them so much.
If you'll excuse us, we'd like to resume convincing Mr. Castle that, unlike his current legal counsel, we can actually help him.
Castle doesn't want the public defender. Says Nelson and Murdoch are his lawyers now.
Fuck yeah. I know he gets out, but still, to see this happen.
Hey, this is happening.
Oh, this is happening, all right.
Yeah, come in.
Car service for you, Mr. Murdoch.
Car service?
Not now, Electra.
Not a very good time.
My employer was quite insistent.
His employer?
Yeah, the new client. Scheduled meeting.
When?
I guess it's now, I suppose.
Seriously?
What kind of client sends a driver anyways?
The kind that pays. I know the timing is awful.
It's okay, just go.
All right. Call me with any issues. This shouldn't take long anyway.
No, it's okay. You got this.
Whoa! Is this officially happening?
We're
not labeling it. You know, why don't I walk you out?
Don't walk him out. You're gonna see Electra. That mystery client's also his ex. Why didn't he tell me that? Is Matt keeping secrets from me?
You're right.
Is his smile gonna fade? Trying to live two lives at once.
You can't just send a car for me whenever you
Get
decide that you
undressed.
want. What?
We're going to a gala to steal a top-secret Roxton ledger that details certain illegal goings-on in Hell's Kitchen. According to my intel, every employee carries a key card that grants them access to their secret floor in the Yakatami building.
So you're gonna pickpocket his key card
Yes,
in the middle of a gala?
that's the idea.
I need to know every step of this plan.
Matthew, where's the fun in that?
There isn't any. It's not about fun. We have a deal.
It's worse than I thought. 37 separate murder charges. We're so screwed.
You ready to go in?
No,
See, Matt should be here.
I'm gonna need a verbal confirmation if we're gonna continue. Look, you asked us to represent you in order to do my job.
I'm guilty. Her. I need to talk to her alone.
My colleague is...
I'll do it.
Dude, he's so scary. I love him so much.
If you're feeling up
My
to it, I
family.
really think that
What do you know?
we can get to that.
What do you know?
Have you ever seen this? A police report, complaint number 211974. Victims were stopped at a traffic light northbound on Buellton Ave when an unidentified male suspect began firing a 9mm handgun at their vehicle. It's the story Reyes is running with. But you and I know you and your family. You were at the carousel that day. Mr. Castle, I've got a lot of puzzle pieces, but trust me, this moves a lot smoother if you can tell me anything.
The cartel. Irish. Bikers.
Anyone else? How could you know?
What did I just say to you? I said that I heard it. I heard it. And I didn't do anything. My job was to keep him safe. I didn't. I didn't do it.
Why don't I come back when you're...
Just stay. Please.
Please. Wow. This poor guy.
Like my stupid tie now.
I love your stupid tie now.
I prefer Matt with Karen, but they do have really good chemistry, these two.
Too bad you can't enjoy the party.
I think I'll manage a good time.
Nachos. Delighted to have you here with us this evening.
You know, I never pass up a chance to have my ass kissed. Mr. Hiroshi. That's good. Consistent.
Neat.
Yes, I know. Here we go.
Eyes on Gibson at the bar.
I guess Rock's on up their security.
They're gonna see you looking around.
We have to get him alone somehow.
Leave it to me. You just hang tight.
Oh, he's gonna pretend he can't see. And Spill the wine on him. He has to go to the bathroom. That's my guess.
It's nothing.
Please, forgive me. I insist you send me the drug baby.
No, I should watch where I'm going. It's my fault.
Thank you, sir. Once again, I'm so sorry.
My man.
Running around with that grotto. I only hurt people that deserve it. I wanted you to know that. You know, I used to do hits for the Irish, huh? One time he shot an old lady because she saw his face. Point is, you were safe, okay? I wanted you to know that. Look, you got any idea what a scout sniper is? You ever heard of that? No? Okay, well, you're looking at one. And we had a motto, it was a saying, yeah? It was one shot, one kill. The point is, if I wanted you dead, you'd be dead.
Why am I here?
I guess I worry that the memories are just gonna go away.
You never went back? After your family was...
No.
There were drawings on the walls and sports trophies on the dressers. A lot of plastic dinosaurs.
Those were my little girls, those were Lisa's.
What about the little car?
It's Frank Jr.'s. I got that for him for his 7th birthday. He used to... Drove me crazy with that thing.
It's really not for me to say. But they clearly loved you.
I don't know if you can look at it. He's trying not to.
Blind bastard.
There it is.
Could one of you grab me a club soda?
They ain't doing shit for you.
Did the power go out, or did you hit the switch?
I think he saw you, Matt. Thought this was Elektra's job. You're just taking the entire initiative on it. Well, he did say leave it to me. I didn't know he was gonna do all of it. I thought he was just setting her up. He was like alley-oop, and then she would infiltrate in the bathroom or whatever.
This will erase the recordings and loop the security cameras.
That's some cool tech.
Floor's crawling with security.
He'd be a great thief. Dude, they were just out of sight as they were walking.
Delaware doesn't have the evidence to charge an extradite, so the death penalty is officially off the table. But Reyes also wanted 3 life sentences without the possibility of parole. I got her down to 1, with the possibility of parole in 25 years. It's the good news.
And the bad?
She wouldn't budge on protective custody. He's gonna have to be in general pop.
Right, he'll be surrounded by criminals. People out for his blood.
Sounds like a party.
Legally, though, I think this is the best possible deal we're gonna make right now. So when the judge and Reyes come in, all you have to do is say 3 simple words. Guilty, Your Honor.
Can do.
I don't think he's gonna do it.
How does the defendant plead?
Here it comes.
I plead not guilty. You hear that, witch? I'm gonna watch you burn right along
Counselor,
with you.
please
Hear me?
control.
Sorry, Your Honor.
The defendant has entered a plea of not guilty due to the nature and severity.
Oh, there is something more here.
We are adjourned.
She's scared. Called her a witch. Damn.
That was not supposed to happen.
No.
The cover-up. I mean, if we go to trial, then it all comes out, right?
There's no if. This is happening.
They need Matt. He needs to get evidence as Daredevil. Somehow. Oh, I was definitely right. He would make such a good thief. Holy shit, I didn't even think he'd use his ability to pick safes and locks and shit. What if she's been lying this whole time? Certainly a possibility.
It's not there. It's supposed to be there. If they find Gibson, we're toast. We have to go.
Listen for like a sound, like a ticking or something. Or a buzzing.
侵入者は13階だ。はい。防犯カメラの絵を出すんだ。誰がやったか見てやる。
Shit. There's gonna be a secret wall.
Here.
So good. Just turn it, and it will like click or something. Yep.
Here, this one. Books, paper.
Can they jump out a window? How are they getting out of here?
Oh, no. We gotta go.
He's like, I'll hold on to that. How are they gonna get out of this? I wouldn't be worried if Matt had his suit on, but he doesn't. And he's easy to recognize because he's a blind guy. I mean, well, he dropped his stick there. Tag team. Alright, he's got it with him. I would have loved if they just went up this flight of stairs, completely missed them by a second. They heard him though. That would have been funny.
Oh my goodness. We are so sorry. This is very embarrassing. Just thought we'll be right out of here.
He'll make a big donation. He's very rich. Oh?
Very sorry, sir.
Shut up. You need to leave.
Yes, certainly. Once again, we're so sorry. We did not.
Now!
Smart. Once I heard her moaning, I knew that's what they were gonna do. Was he kissing her neck? He better have been fake kissing. I don't want Matt to be a cheater.
Guns, ammunition.
You read Japanese?
Mm-hmm.
Sounds like a lot of them.
Over the past several months. And all from Japan. I don't know, this one I can't read.
What do you mean?
It's in some kind of code.
Guns and human trafficking are encrypted, then what is? Wow, what are they hiding?
The black sky. Please, I want more of that.
Same time tomorrow, Matthew?
Even he has to admit that was kind of fun. A box of fingers. Oh, he's gonna collect one for incompetence.
Our most valuable secrets have been stolen. I'd be very to learn you aided this theft in any way, Gibson-san.
I had nothing to do with it. I was in the bathroom. We were attacked. I would never betray you. I have nothing but respect for the Yakuza.
Who said I was Yakuza?
Huh? Why did they wrap their fingers? Was that kind of like, touch your nose, I'm not losing my finger?
Why are you fancy?
What's going on?
Does he know about Elektra?
Frank pled not guilty, Matt.
What?
And it gets worse. Reyes pulled every string she has and fast-tracked the trial.
What? You
should have been here.
Maybe streamline our case theory and not waste time fighting any charges.
You don't understand, Matt. Frank agreed. He thinks he's sticking it to Reyes or something. I hope your schedule is clear, buddy. Because the People versus Frank Castle starts next week.
Come on, don't end. Damn it. I have several questions, but I don't think any of those are meant to be answered as of yet because it still pertains to the original questions I was asking at the very start of the season, or at least in those first few episodes. And that is number one, what is going on with Frank Castle? This is part of the issue, is me watching this now about 10 years later. I believe it was 2015 when season 1 originally aired. I don't know when season 2 came out. I would imagine probably 2016, 2017. And then I think the final season 3 was 2018. So again, just watching this around a decade later, obviously there's going to be things I know for spoilers, especially with Daredevil Born Again going on and they're filming season 2 right now. But I also know that there are several spin-offs of the Daredevil show that are canon to that universe, which then became MCU canon 100%. So I know John Bernthal's Punisher, Frank Castle, he gets out, he's free. He's a free man, he gets to walk, and then he has his own spin-off show. Because I don't believe it's a prequel, I think it is a direct continuation. So part of the issue with that is I know he's going to get out, but something I didn't see coming, which is kind of idiotic on my part, is Matt and Foggy representing him, which totally makes sense. I'm happy to see, I'm excited to see. But how we get to the point where he's able to get free, or maybe he got a sentence, which would make sense. Even if the DA was shady and there was something else and they could do a lighter sentence for him, he'd still be in jail for X amount of years or whatever. But it looks like a jailbreak. Same thing with Wilson Fisk. How does that big boy get out? So we'll ask those questions, or we'll see how that turns out once it happens. But as for the now, I'm still wondering about that whole Reyes DA ordeal, because I was always under the assumption that throughout these episodes we were getting it that he was a kind of, I don't know if special forces is the right word. He has a military background, but he was more secretive, more special ops kind of thing. But how did that get in the mix of organized crime within the city? I feel like if you're looking at jurisdiction, that's a little small time for a US operative. You'd think somebody with that skills would be sent overseas to do something. So maybe he returned home and then he operated within the country. I'm not sure, and how does a DA fit in that? Because I won't lie, I'm not an expert on the judicial system, but I know a DA is very high ranking, but I don't know high enough, or at least that her cover of being a DA, because there has to be something more that makes her responsible for whatever happened to Frank, that he's holding it against her, calling her witch, wanting to see her burn. What is that about? To me, it just seems like, as Karen was pointing out, that he was in a firefight, obviously, with the cartel, the Irish, the Dogs of Hell, and then something happened where it was directly flipped back at him to where his family was killed, but they were at the carousel, and it was a cover-up, and it's very, very shady. But why, though? Why? I said this, and I don't know if it was last episode. I mean, it had to have been, because it's the last episode I did in 2 years. But I said he really reminds me of a John Marston type character from the original Red Dead Redemption, where he was working for the government and they were kind of blackmailing him with his family. And then, I mean, it's a little bit of an inverse because the family lived and he died at the end. And this one is the opposite case, but it's that same principle of the government using a specialized killer and using loved ones, a very common trope, as blackmail, as a way to get him to do what they want. So perhaps he was supposed to continue doing something, and then he stopped, declined, wanted to give up that life. He was tired, like you told Matt. And then as a retribution for disobeying them, perhaps that's why his family was killed. See, I don't know. It's unclear. I feel like it could be a situation where the DA or them, they want to keep their hands clean, so they use a proxy. Perhaps they hired one of these groups, like the Irish and such, as almost like hitmen to do it, so it throws off any connection to them. Then it would all be blamed on organized crime. The city took them instead of, it was the government that killed your family, Frank, but we're not going to admit to that because our hands are clean. I wonder what's going to happen to the DA. I don't think she's going to die. Like, I don't think Frank's going to get out, kill her, and he's going to be like, my revenge. I will have my revenge. I don't think we're on that kind of mission, but I feel like she'll get exposed and get a demotion, because sometimes the truth, and that is better than killing. There are other ways to fight. There's better ways to justice. Now I'm sounding like Matt. But I will say, as a character, she does get on my nerves, which is a good sign of good writing and good acting. So I appreciate that, but I can't wait to see her go. And just moving on with the questions, because it's kind of the same as last episode. It wasn't really anything new. It was just further exploring these little plot threads that we're going with. The flip side, between we have the Foggy, Karen sort of circle with Frank, the DA, all that, figuring out they're representing him. And then on the other side, you have Matt, who's doing this very quite literal 2 lives of, here I am doing a lawyer and being with Frank and trying to solve this case, but I'm also doing another case that's secretive with my ex-crazy girlfriend, and we're tangling with the Yakuza, and it turns out that the head boss is not Yakuza. And what's that about? I said this before. I'm not too, I'm like 99% sure, because I sometimes get these things mixed up, but I believe the Japanese Yakuza, that organization, still connected to Nobu, but it wasn't necessarily like his main organization, it was just more like side people, because he had his other secret organization that really connects to Stick and those characters and their ways and such. But if that's the case with this guy too, where he's not Yakuza, but he's more like a Nobu figure, perhaps. I'm not too sure. And that's the only thing I can really think of me making jokes like, oh, we're gonna get the Black Sky storyline again, because what else could there be on that? I don't know if you want to call it ledger, where Elektra was able to decipher it because she knows Japanese, but some of it was in code, and it wasn't like drugs or human trafficking. It was worse or more secretive than that it required coding. So what the hell is that about? So we have several more episodes after this one. I can't wait to see how this season wraps up, and then how do we head into season 3. I said before last week that I would explain, or more so I would ask you guys what I should do going forward, because there's the spin-offs, Defenders. Before we get into season 3, what is essential, what's like required viewing for that. We'll save that for later, but I'm just curious where we're gonna leave off once this sort of season's wrapped up. And it's definitely going in the direction that I hoped. I always imagined that once Punisher was put away, then he would just disappear off screen until he resurfaced in the spin-off show, but I was completely wrong. He is still here in the mix, which I'm so grateful for. And so far, I definitely think that the season is comparable in quality to the first one. It definitely lacks that bit of... The only thing it does lack is it's missing that impending danger and mystery, because Fisk had his hands in everything. He was the man behind the curtain, pulling the strings of everyone, the dirty cops, the politicians. It was all so much, and it was such a scary situation that it felt like such an insurmountable like task to overcome, that it was so exciting in that way. But now that Matt has his footing, I feel like that's the only thing where we kind of dipped, and obviously just like missing out on Vanessa, Fisk, and those characters. I understand, but I'm just saying this because I know a lot of people like to bash on season 2, and so far I've yet to see anything that warrants such a reaction. Maybe that's just from the people I've seen like on social media, because a lot of times the minority case of unpopular opinions tends to be louder than the popular one. So maybe it's just something like that. Again, I think I would rank this a little below season 1, but nothing so exponential that it, like I said, is going to warrant such a reaction that it's like, season 2's the black sheep of the Daredevil seasons. Like, what? No, dude, this season's been great. So with that being said, I'm very excited for next week, which of course is on a Wednesday, and Thursdays is my Peacemaker reaction, which can always be found in the description. And then the final thing is the big one. It's my first movie reaction in like 3 years at this point. So I won't lie, I'm a little nervous about that, but I hope that I'm able to get back into a rhythm with it. It's going to be a little difficult because I have to, not only do I have to find the movies, but it's juggling through all these different streaming apps just to land it. Because if you don't know, I'm going to be alternating week to week. One of the movies is going to be random. So it's, I mean, everything I've selected, but it's going to be random. There's not going to be a set order of genre or time period or whatever. So for example, the first one is going to be Blade Runner 2049. And then the week after that is not going to be sort of cyberpunk related. It's going to be an X-Men reaction because I've never seen the X-Men movies, and that's a series we're doing. So every week it's alternating between a series reaction and then one of those randomly selected ones like I just mentioned. So if you're interested in any of that, I hope to see you guys there next week. And I appreciate all of you who have watched up to this point. So until then, have a great rest of your day, rest well, and until the next.